Hey, what's up guys, Kadachi here, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry if I sound a little tired, I literally just woke up, but I wanted to get this video out. I didn't upload for a while. I decided to take a break after I did the barbarian video before AOZ, which I'm probably going to do another video on down the line, because there's some updates to the build. But I decided to take a break. I went to PoE for the first time and played that league, and I will say I heavily enjoyed myself. That game has a lot going for it, and I'm glad. Can't wait to look forward to PoE 2. But it helped me learn a lot about Diablo 4, build crafting, theory crafting. See a lot of the problems that Diablo 4 has as a game in its whole. But I'm going to go over those in this video while also going over this build, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. So for starters, I want to talk to you guys about Season 3. If you ask me, I have been heavily enjoying the season since the start. When I first started the season, all I heard was complete negativity from whether it be some friends or streamers, other content creators. When it came to the grind, the pet, I felt like I had already found what I wanted from my pet, what I was using with my pet. I was enjoying myself. I enjoyed the grind. I just came from PoE, and that game in itself is an entire grind. The league mechanic there required you to not have all things powerful until you were near the end game. So I was completely fine with the pet being where it was. Definitely needed some adjustments to the mechanic itself. Pet could have been a little powerful, and that's fine. But other than that, I had no negative comments about the season so far. Secondly, I want to talk about the potion changes that they had with the dungeons. I feel like that is the only level of difficulty this game has. If you die in a dungeon and you lose your potions, or a boss fight and you lose your potions, even in a vault, you die and you lose your potions. But other than that, there's no difficulty layers to the game. I feel like they also implemented it completely a little weird. At least give you the potions back when you complete and leave said dungeon, so you don't have to go back to town and keep replenishing them. But that's not an issue. It can be solved, and I'm completely fine with it where it is now. I've just heard a lot of negative comments from other people who can be a part of the more casual player base, and that is fine. So hopefully they fix something with that down the line, but we'll see. The reason I could say that I like this season so much is that I don't know if anybody's really noticed, but they most definitely got inspiration from PoE with this entire season, whether it be the vaults, relating that to labs, or the pet itself with support gems. It's just a complete light version of the PoE system. In my opinion, I literally called this the season of screen clutter. There's so much screen clutter between the characters right now when it comes to abilities covering the screen. Like, you could not tell me that that's not something that would be done in PoE. Obviously, some people would say they're two different games. They're both ARPGs, and if they did copy PoE, more power to them. I hope they do more of this in the future. It only makes the game better. That's all I really have to say regarding the season. Anything negative? I'm really enjoying myself. At the end of the day, it's fun. I hope they do more like this. Quite frankly, this pet that they added needs to stay in the game after this season. One thing that they need to take from PoE, I conceded to the inspiration with this entire season. One thing that they need to take from PoE is that seasons need to carry over. I don't care if it's a blatant copy, ripoff, whatever. Diablo needs to have seasons stacking up, especially with something like this. This pet does not need to be taken out of the game. It is such an amazing asset to the character and probably one of their best ideas and things that they have ever done, and it needs to stay in the game. That's really all I have to say. Hopefully a dev can see this and this idea can be implemented, but this pet is great. I've only heard good things from the friends that I have. They also enjoy it, and they also think it needs to stay in the game. It would be such an amazing asset to the player. So for starters, on our helmet, you're gonna want shielding storm aspect for the bonestorm barrier. It's pretty good. This is literally what keeps you alive and makes you immortal, so that's good. Total armor helmet, cooldown reduction. My helmet's not the best. I still could have 2 good perks on there, so I'm definitely gonna be working on that. But most definitely want total armor and some cooldown. Next for our chest piece, mutilated plate. I love this chest piece visually, and the perk is pretty cool too, I guess. Some multiplicative blood lance damage that just adds on to the blood seekers aspect, which is great, especially if you're not running a two-handed weapon. It also fortifies you, and you have a chance to make blood orbs, so that's good. Get some max life on there as well. Max life is super good on gear right now. It's scaling your HP pretty darn good. For the gloves, you know what? Overpower damage, attack speed, ranks to your blood lance. For the last one, I'd go with lucky hit chance or crit chance, either one. Next, you're gonna want the Rathma's chosen aspect. So when you overpower, you get more attack speed. That 50% attack speed increase is very crazy, and you're always overpowering. So yeah. For the pants, you're gonna be running Blood Moon breaches. This damage increase is absurd. Honestly, whenever I do use it, I pretty much delete everything on the screen for the most part. Comboed with Grasping Veins, it is freaking amazing. For the boots, you want Flicker Step. Get some damage reduction from close on there, that's cool. Movement speed, that's nice. If you really wanted to, you could just run some regular triple res boots and run the new movement speed aspect. That's about 40% movement speed right there for free. But that's completely up to you. So for the amulets, you're gonna want Grasping Veins for the multiplicative crit bonus, which is freaking amazing. Total armor amulet, 2 damage reductions if possible, and ranks to your blood tides of blood passive in your skill tree. There's another one that you can get. I'll be going over that in a bit. Forgot the name of it. For the ring, you're more gonna want a ring like this. I don't want damage to close. I'm looking for max life, crit strike chance, crit strike damage, and overpower damage. Same with this ring. I don't have it on this one, but this is as close as I've gotten so far. Overpower. I might keep lucky hit chance. I'm digging lucky hit chance for this build. It's pretty good. Max life and crit strike damage. For the shield, lidless wall, of course. It's really good. Basically keeps you alive for as long as you can keep. For the weapon, you're gonna want the hungry blood aspect. This is really the bread and butter when it comes to AoE clear, ad clear. It's really pleasing watching all the blood connect to all the ads without having to hit all the ads. And just killing everything. It's just nice to see. You're gonna want crit strike damage, overpower damage, and core skill damage. I put all stats because I needed to reach my Paragon nodes. So if you're good on stats and your Paragon, then I don't think you need it. But I just want all stats. It's pretty good. Definitely helped. That's enough with that. So this is our boss killer version with a few changes. Few aspects moved around to get the damage needed. Hold on, let me put this on. I think I'm good. Yeah. So for the helmet, you can run Godslayer's Crown or Shaco. Either one if you can get Shaco. Banishlord's Talisman, amazing damage. This is probably gonna push your damage off the roof, to be honest. I also run Edge Masters just for that extra damage on resource. You pretty much have majority full resource all the time, especially if you're using your pet. Basically, it can give you resource quite often, so you don't have to push your basic attack that much. For the gauntlets, you're going to be moving Grasping Veins over to here. I don't know if I would rather want Grasping Veins on the two-hander or the gauntlets, but I usually put the Bloodseeker's aspect here for the 50% multiplicative added on to the 20% you can get on the chest piece. So that's 70% multiplicative damage right there. Other than that, that's really it. That's the entire boss build, and I usually switch to this anytime I do get to the boss, or I have used the same build to kill Lilith, and this also melts Durio. So that's it for that. For the sacrifices, I sacrifice my skeletal warriors for res, my mages go to the overpowering damage, and my golems go to the critical strike damage. Next for the skills, we're gonna start off with hemorrhage. I put 2 ranks into there. You don't really need the attack speed or the fortify. You're gonna be fortifying quite often, and you're gonna get a lot of attack speed from the overpower aspect. Next, we got our blood lance here. You usually have 9 ranks with no shako, if you have everything done right. You want the imperfectly balanced for the more damage, but also taking away the more essence, and that's fine. You're still gonna have a lot of essence left over. Next, you're gonna want blood mist. I want the corpse blood mist because I'd like to make corpses on hand anytime I would like to. Obviously, this is our only source of unstoppable, so use at the right time, of course. You can make a lot of corpses just from killing the enemies, which is good enough there. I want the damage to close multiplicative passive. I don't really want the distant one, even though with this build, this is probably the only build that I would take this on, because there are a lot of times where I am hitting enemies off screen and it is crazy. So I would take damage distant as well if you really wanted to. Amplify damage, also decrepify. I decided to go with the cooldown decrepify because I'm not running auto corpse tendril, corpse explosion with this build. It also helps with all my other cooldowns. You basically just throw down a corpse tendril, use decrepify, and you have your corpse tendril back. It's pretty crazy. So I usually self-cast all my abilities. Next, you just want just about all of the blood passive tree. You get to fortify here, blood orb creation here. This is why I want more lucky hit chance, because this would definitely help me in the long run. Overpower damage. So coalesce blood is the other option for the amulet. You can go for that as well, but I think I prefer Tides of Blood. I don't know, I haven't gotten the other ones tested out yet. Down here you're gonna want the damage reduction. You're also gonna want the sacrifice bonus increase passive, and we're gonna take the attack speed passive. This is really helpful. Between ultimates, boss killing, I use Blood Wave. Bonestorms for the Nightmare Dungeon clear, but I did have Bonestorm on for Lilith, and I feel like it helped. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I still enjoy using my blood orbs from the Blood Wave for more damage. Lastly, the passive, we're just going to be going with the blood passive. Nothing too crazy to get it overpowered, but you're basically using a lot of blood skills, so you're always going to have that down majority of the time, unless you time it correctly. One thing I do want to talk about is how good looking the mutilator plate is, and that leads me to saying I feel like we need more uniques like this. Hopefully this is just a start. It could be fixed a little more visually, but for the most part it's probably the best looking unique that I've seen in the game, and I hope we get to see more like this in the future. And yeah, that's really it for that. So let's start with the Paragon board. This one's a pretty short one. I didn't really think this character needed a 7 Paragon board layout. Thought 5 was just good enough. For starters, we are taking majority magic nodes increases for the multiplicative damage boost they give. Probably have like 2 regular glyphs that don't give you like any magic node increase. So we're gonna take Corporeal for your starters. Second, we're going to be taking the Dominate glyph for the overpowered damage. It's probably the most overpowered damage you can get from one of the glyph pages. The legendary node, Blood Begets Blood. This one is very good. You're always making blood orbs. You're always getting damage for it. Next, we are going to be taking Amplify, another multiplicative damage increase for just cursing an enemy, added on to Blood Moon Breaches. Scented Death for the damage reduction. There's little times where I have no corpses on the floor, so you're basically just using it for 15% damage reduction. Next, page, we're going to be taking Bloodbath for the increased overpower damage. That is very good. We're basically sitting at 100% multiplicative overpower damage increase. Here I went with Essence for the crit strike damage. Very good, very helpful. Lastly, we are going with Sacrificial for the other multiplicative increase, and we stop over here just to get the damage to injured. These notes, damage to injured over here, and hold on, can I get it? Damage to injured over here, damage to healthy. You can get these over here as well. This is what I use for bossing, to be honest, and that really pushes the damage to the max. Damage to injured over here, I got all of this. Yeah, this is super good for, I guess, any build in my opinion that you can get it on. But yeah, we're not going to be taking this one over here. There we go, Flesh Eater. I don't really consume corpses. We don't do the bonestorm consume corpse option, which is fine. I don't really like it. I won't have corpses from my corpse sigils all the time when I want to, or from my blood mist, so I'd rather not take this one and consume corpses. So for my pet setup, you're definitely going to be rocking Tempest, Resource, and 100% vulnerable chance with arcing support, because you're going to be hitting multiple enemies. It's all very useful. One of my gripes with Necro is that it doesn't have any, like barely any sources to proc vulnerable. You're either using Bone Spear, or you're going to be using Bone Skills for that matter, or Corpse Tendrils, which uptime isn't too crazy. Maybe if you're running auto corpse build, but for a solo corpse tendril build, well, obviously my uptime is there all the time, but my vulnerable uptime is not there all the time. So I'm glad that they added this. Hopefully we see some other sources of vulnerable for the Necro in the future, but for now, this is what we have. Secondly, I'm gonna go with Flash of Adrenaline. Genesis, obviously that's completely out of some people's reach for now, so you don't need to have Adrenaline. I wasn't using it all the time, of course. I didn't always have it, so you can fit that in for something you would like. Let it be fortified, or you can I would just put fortify in for the most part. Safeguard for the damage reduction, and tactical support for the cooldown. You can actually take down that and then put on duration support. Yeah, that would be good. Secondly, one of my problems that I have with this said pet is that when I was trying to test my 20k armor, 20k HP, the fact that this pet could not heal me over set amount constantly to keep me alive with no barrier, kind of gets to me a little bit, because I ran it with Genesis. Which basically gave me 100% of my maximum health, which is really crazy on paper. So that should be let alone nearly keeping me alive, but it wasn't, which was very upsetting to me. That's fine. Can't win them all. Like I said, hopefully we get some changes in the future that allow for armor stacking on characters that wouldn't usually armor stack, but we'll see. You can also go for Protect, which is super good. I was running a Protect Reconstruct combo, but I missed my Tempest, I missed my Vulnerable. This build hits without Vulnerable, which is crazy, but having Vulnerable obviously skyrockets your damage even more. But yeah, Protect is also a good option. I would use this on Necros. I tried to use this as well with the no bonestorm. It was helpful. Issue is, it has downtime. You can run it with tactical and the duration support. And that small lick of downtime, even if it's down for like 2, 3, 4 seconds, that's time that you can die. So I did not enjoy that. Super great barrier, just the downtime was not for me. Other than that, that'll be it for the stones. Hopefully you can get Genesis or the other one, Evernight. I don't really care too much about Evernight. It's probably gonna be super good, of course, but I don't see myself really fitting it anywhere in this setup. yeah, fitting it anywhere in this setup. I mean, you could if you really wanted to for the damage, but you don't have to. I'm pretty satisfied with what I got going on right now. So with this character, and this is what I love about this build that I got going on, there's a lot of buttons that can be pressed. I enjoy that. I love pressing buttons. But for starters, right, the combo is really going to be rocking a buttonless on the boss, right, making a corpse, crepify, corpse, and damage the boss, and damage. You're doing damage. You can also add a blood wave in there. You're doing damage. And this is without my grandfather sword, some normal sword, you can see here. You're obviously not going to be hitting numbers. You could probably peak 40-50 mil like this, but to get to 80 mils, you're going to want a grandfather, which is 35 mil, power. Yeah, that's really the combo for that. You can transition that to Nightmare Dungeon, so you're really just going to be mixing corpse centers, Crepify, more damage. Crepify again, and then there's usually more enemies, so you basically have the collection of the Wright like up again, and yeah, that's really it for that. So one thing I forgot to mention is part of the damage portion in my last clip. A lot of my damage is also coming from getting my Banished Lord's Talisman proc off. So you're obviously going to want to go into the, or you can do this before a boss fight, prime it, get it to around 250-ish. You can use the free overpower from your Blood Lance, getting it to 6 stacks, and then by the time you're done with that, you'll have another overpower ready for more big damage. That'll be it for that. That will be the end of this video. I'm going to be trying to get out more Diablo content. I really do enjoy this game when there is stuff to do. It's very fun. For PoE, I probably will not be making content on that game. The market is pretty saturated, but PoE 2 is right around the corner. Definitely going to try to make some content on that. So stay tuned, guys. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.